So I thought I'd come out here this morning just to give you some insight into what was happening last week. And at one point I was getting really frustrated, and sometimes frustration is one of those things you can't pin down really what the reason is, what's going on. But this was one thing, just to give you a thought. I was working on this wall behind me here, and I needed to take a brick like this and cut it lengthways so that I could fit it into the end of the wall. So I had an angle grinder, so I went round. You can see where I've cut all the way around this brick like this to try and split it across lengthways. But you can see here the angle grinder doesn't go all the way through, so then I was trying to take the bolster chisel and cut it so that it would break this way, but it didn't. It would break this way across, and that's not what I wanted, and it was getting really frustrating. But eventually I got there, and you'll see what I've done. If you could pick this bit here, where there's looks like two ends of bricks, but they're parts of bricks, and that's where I've made it into a piece, perhaps this size, and I've made two bits that fit into one. So that's what was happening last week, and it was also frustrating when I was doing the family talk as well, and I was boiling over into that a little bit. But yeah, got there in the end. And I think frustration is one of those things. There's maybe three ways that you respond to it. And I'll look at the story that I told of David. So he had this task that he really wanted to do. He wanted to bring the ark back to Jerusalem, and he set off and tried to do it. And what it says is the oxen stumbled along the way, and somebody put their hand on the ark to steady it, and they were struck down and killed. And imagine David being really frustrated at all of that. And so there's three things you might do in that situation. Number one is that you just keep going. And when I was young, there was a friend that I knew, big heavy guy that was called Big Dave, and he used to say that there's a thing about brute strength and ignorance, and he was loaded with both. And sometimes that can be our response, that when things go wrong we just give it more welly and try and push some more and make it even worse. So that's number one. Number two is just that we give up. We say, I can't take this anymore, I'm just not going to do it. And number three is what David did. I don't know if he did any of one or two, but he certainly did three, I think, where he went and he prayed to God and he said, what do I do? And then he came back, and he came back with the priests, and he carried the ark in the right way, and he brought it back rejoicing into Jerusalem. And I don't know what kind of person you are. I maybe sometimes go through one, sometimes one and two, and then hopefully eventually I get to number three, where I return to God and say, yeah, okay, now what do I do? There's something that you want me to do, so I'm not going to give up and just not do it, and I'm not just going to try and carry on and get it wrong, but I'm going to ask you and see what I should be doing, and hopefully that's something you can take away today. See you soon.